Now let's move on to rule number 3. Number 3 rule is simply you, simply cut. And this goes back again to rule number 1. It's all about you, the actor. And I know you're going to like to hear that. It's really not about how many cool fonts and transitions can be created by your editor when you're an actor. If you have an editor who's really excited about your project and wants to add all this, you know, these special transitions and cool stuff to it, that's good, because that means that their excitement is going to translate to their work. They really want to make the most out of the project for you. But the best thing to do if you're in this situation is to, you know, be polite and say, hey, thanks, but I really want to keep it simple. If your editor continues to insist and tell you about all of these really cool things he'd like to do, then it might be time to get a new editor, because really the reel shouldn't be about the editing. It should be about the actor. All those fancy transitions and stuff like that, they should really be eliminated from an actor's demo reel, or at least kept to a relevant minimum. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Generally speaking, you want to use quick crossfades and hard cuts like this.
Hi, Sam, honey. We miss you. We love you. I wish you were here with us tonight. Supper's ready.
Gotta get something good on this one. I'ma make it about tonight. I've been waiting my whole life for this right here.
You look ridiculous.
What on earth possessed you to bring him to my house?
Because...
My house!
Would you be my American boy? American boy. Take me on a trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to Chicago, San Francisco, babe.
Oh, that is awful. I mean, that's terrible. That's halitosis is what that is.
So it's dinner ready?
Okay. Now, those are some samples here, but, you know, every rule is made to be broken. Sandy Timon's reel is a perfect example of this. When Sandy came to me, she really hadn't been working very much. But when I looked at her footage, I realized there was no reason for this. I mean, she has some really distinct traits as an actor that make her very special. And take a look. I think you'll know what I mean.
Wow. Yeah. So we just really made out hot and heavy. I felt like I hit the jackpot, even though I hadn't stepped inside the casino at all. It was good.
Oh, here comes Miss Thigh Master.
Hey girls, talking doesn't burn calories.
Oh, hi Jill. How's school?
School? Oh, I'm done with that. I'm working as a medical assistant. When I first started, they wouldn't even let me put the fruit on the fruit tarts, but now I know everything. What are you doing?
Taking a test drive.
Test drive? It's a computer game. Honey, why don't you just go down to the dealers and do it for real?
Tired of pushy car dealers.
Finally, I am in control. I am your customer.
The team's up.
Tell me if I'm crazy. My ex, he moved out a while ago, and he just left a bunch of his stuff, and, well, I got tired of looking at his CDs and crap, so, well, I boxed him all up, and I took him to the thrift store. Is that considered psycho?
Russell hated it when the baby screamed and cried. He hated it. Did he tell you how angry he got? He used to scream at that baby.
I'm flattered, but I'm not gay. Anyway, it wasn't me confessing to a crime that I didn't commit. What's the matter? And of course, I didn't want to say I'm really afraid of you now because I don't really know you and I'm all tied up and you might really hurt me.
I'm totally serious. They even helped me find my job.
This day has been terrible. First, I got a splinter in my hand from the deck that you haven't sanded.
Someone's at the door. Hun!
Dry run before the date shows up.
Fine.
You work with doctors?
Work and workout.
Oh.
Off to yoga.
Oh, I hate her.
Now, I must admit that this is one of my favorite demo reels that I've ever worked on for an actor. Sandy didn't have a whole ton of footage to choose from, but she did have directors who had really showed off her distinct talent in the various projects that she had worked on. In fact, if you notice, we used a halo around her animated character in this project, That was something that we added there. And I added that to really help pop her voice off of the screen visually. Okay? And, you know, that's one of those unique, distinct traits about her that I thought, this is special. And we've got to find a way to make this stand out. Find a way to either make it just a solo shot of your animated character, or to use some really cool techniques like this halo, for example, to stand out. Once it's done once, then they should know very clearly that that's your voice, and you shouldn't have to do it again. We use these unique transitions on Sandy's reel, the static transitions like this.
Tell me if I'm crazy.
The reason we did that is because it goes with her performances. She's very offbeat, kind of quirky personality, and so we used that to keep the pace up as well, because there was a limited amount of footage, and I didn't want it to feel redundant. So that kind of keeps the pace moving along, and it goes right along with her sort of quirkiness as well. A couple of months later, I ran into Sandy at an actor's workshop, and she was really ecstatic about what had happened ever since she got her reel.
Recently, I had 2 auditions. One was this past summer, and they wanted to see just one actress for this part, just one, and it was me. And I asked my agent, how can you just pick one actor? You can't just pick one actor. Don't you audition several? And she said, no, he saw your reel. He saw what he needed to see. He wanted you. You're the only one he asked for. So I did that. And yesterday, I went to an audition where they only were seeing 3 women. And I'd never worked with these people before, and there's no way they could just pick me from off my headshot or resume. They had to go to the reel and see. So, yeah, a demo reel, a good demo reel is essential. You have to have it. Yeah. It has to be good. You only get one chance to make a good first impression. Yeah.
And the beauty of that is that her demo reel paid for itself within just a few months, many times over. Any investor in the world, no matter what business they're in, will jump at that kind of an opportunity. If you could tell them a small investment can give them, you know, a large return, 10 times their return in just a couple of months. I always suggest that you work with your agent on the demo reel. Don't show them every single version or whatever, but once you've got it really tight and it's pretty close to done, it's not a bad idea to show it to the agent before you make your final cut. This really showed with Sandy, because it showed in her booking ratio. Her success went up in that, and it showed in her bank account, if you know what I'm saying. You know, a lot of actors are getting work without auditioning these days, and there's a reason why. Producers and directors, they're running out of time and they're running out of money. Their time and their budgets are getting tighter, their deadlines are getting shorter, and a lot of agents tell me that some producers won't even see an actor for a project nowadays unless they have a great demo reel that the producer can look at first. You don't want to put something bad out there because it will really hurt your career, because they will assume that you're a bad actor if you've got a bad reel. And boy, I have seen so many bad reels, and in a lot of cases it's a shame, because there were some really great actors. So do whatever it takes to get an editor who understands the business of acting and auditioning and working with agencies. Okay, if you think you're short on footage, that's okay. If you can put together 60 to 90 seconds of really tight stuff, of good stuff, you can use that as a Kickstarter and always add more footage later to get to that 2-minute sweet spot. Okay, so just a couple quick notes. I want you guys to remember this. As an actor, you are a product, yes, and you are a project, and you are a professional. Okay, all of those things come with their own do's and don'ts. But the most important thing to know is that a sign of a professional is someone who works with the right tools. Okay, you wouldn't want to go to a mechanic who's got a stethoscope that he's listening to your car with. Okay, that's not going to solve the problems for you. So think like an entrepreneur, because you're a business. All right, you're an actorpreneur. The best investment that you can make is in yourself. What I really want you to do is to make this the best year of your career. Go out there, pound the pavement, get on your producers and directors, get your footage, review it, follow these rules, and put together a great reel that will work for you. Thanks for learning, and I appreciate your time.